Insider Mary Kay makes her little small jab. Browns rookie quarterback Dylan Gabriel unable to finish the job as Vikings win 21-17 on the last play of the game, last drive. So, as I said before,
and we have to sometimes remember that these are very, very young men. People come into the NFL with different levels of maturity. In Tennessee right now, we're hearing Brian Callahan have to stand up there and say that Cam Ward shouldn't have said that his team is ASS, and everybody has different levels of maturity. So
I'll say it if you won't.
these are young guys, and not all of them speak the same way. Now, you looked at Dylan Gabriel, and and he said some things in a very mature fashion, and we've heard other quarterbacks do that. Many other quarterbacks.
Don't skip a single second of this video. And if this story touches your heart, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. Where are you watching from? Let's begin. Let's just get this straight. When someone like Mary Kay Cabot goes off, it's not background noise, it's a siren. Because insiders like her don't throw grenades for clicks. They speak when something inside the building is starting to crack. And this time, she didn't whisper it. She said it out loud. He couldn't finish the job. That's not analysis. That's indictment. And the second she said it, everything shifted. The quarterback room, the locker room, the fan base, the whole city of Cleveland felt that quote like a gut punch. Because this isn't just about Dylan Gabriel having a rough day, it's about what that day exposed. A franchise that's been chasing quarterback stability for decades just hit another crossroad. And everyone knows it. You can feel it in the tone of the city. The air is thick with that same tired frustration. That feeling of, here we go again. We've seen the jersey with all the names crossed out. We've lived through the maybe this guy years, and once again, we're standing here after another loss asking the same question. Who's really steering the ship? The thing about this moment, this exact one, is that it feels different. Not because the Browns lost to the Vikings, not because of the box score, but because a veteran insider, a woman who's been covering this team since half these rookies were in grade school, finally said the quiet part out loud. And that changes everything. When an analyst or a YouTuber says it, fans debate it. When Mary Kay says it, coaches start checking who's leaking info. It means there's real noise in the hallways. The kind that echoes from meeting rooms to film sessions. The fans know it too. They're not angry for the sake of being angry. They're exhausted, tired of rebuilding, tired of development windows, tired of moral victories and post-game podium speeches about execution. They're not being negative, they're being real. Because this fan base has seen the league evolve while Cleveland keeps running in place. And here's the line that hits hardest. This isn't hate, it's expectation. This isn't noise, it's a pattern. This isn't overreaction, it's evidence. Every word Mary Kay dropped was a match tossed into a room full of gasoline. It wasn't just about Dylan's throws or checkdowns, it was about belief. Locker room belief, sideline belief, front office belief. Because once that belief starts to slip, it spreads fast. Players start wondering if the guy under center can really take them there. And that's when a depth chart decision becomes a franchise decision. So now the Browns are standing on that thin line between patience and denial, between protecting a young quarterback and protecting a mistake. And if the clock really is ticking like she said, if the tension in that building is as real as it feels, then someone in Cleveland has to answer the only question that matters. When that final second runs off the clock, who do you actually trust to have the ball in their hands? Because after what just happened, this isn't a minor storyline. This is the beginning of something bigger. And make no mistake, on this moment right here, it's not a blip, it's a bombshell. Let's be honest. If you watch that game without the box score, you already know what this was. Checkdowns, rollouts, a passing chart that looked like someone drew a 5-yard bubble around the line of scrimmage and said, "Don't cross it." That's what we saw. Safe, controlled, careful to a fault. Dylan Gabriel wasn't playing quarterback. He was playing not to lose it. And that's the difference. Because in the NFL, surviving isn't enough. Yeah, he moved the ball a little, Yeah, the Browns had their moments, but you can't live on dump-offs and short hitches forever. That kind of offense keeps you respectable for a Sunday. It keeps the score close. It even makes the stat line look decent. 19 completions, 1 touchdown, no picks. The kind of thing you could talk yourself into. But we all saw the truth. That's not sustainable football. Not when the schedule tightens. Not when defensive coordinators have film. Here's what defenses are already seeing. Short area timing routes, minimal motion manipulation, and protection schemes built to hide vision issues. Minnesota didn't even have to blitz heavy. They just squeezed the field. That's how you know a team doesn't fear your quarterback. They stop playing off coverage. They challenge you to beat them vertically. Dylan couldn't or wouldn't. And that's how this turns from rookie learning curve into system ceiling. Now let's add context. The offensive line isn't perfect. Pressure rates are creeping up. The receivers, a mixed bag. They separate when routes extend, not on rhythm. And when your QB can't throw with anticipation, that timing window vanishes. That's why Kevin Stefanski's play sheet is shrinking. Heavy rollouts, half-field reads, manufactured lanes. You can hide a quarterback's limitations for a week, maybe 2. But eventually defenses adjust. They always do. And this is where the comparison starts to sting. Dylan is efficient, polished, risk-averse. He takes what's there. Nothing more, nothing less. But Shedeur, he's a field general in the making. He doesn't wait for windows to open. He throws them open. You can see it in his college tape. Tight pockets, blitz looks, big moments, that internal calm that says, I've seen this before, and maybe that's what's missing in Cleveland right now. Not just talent, but conviction. Inside that locker room, guys feel it. You can't fool pros. They know when a quarterback commands the room and when he's still trying to earn it. Dylan's got effort. Shedeur's got gravity. One's managing games. The other could be changing them. And in this league, belief matters as much as scheme. Players fight harder when they believe the guy behind center can win it all. Fans feel it too. They're not asking for fireworks. They're asking for a ceiling, for something real to believe in. Because respectable isn't undeniable. Safe isn't special. Manage isn't win. So yeah, Dylan's been steady. But if the goal is January football, that won't cut it. You don't out-check down Patrick Mahomes. You don't manage your way past Lamar, Burrow, or Allen. You have to stress defenses. Vertically, situationally, mentally. The room knows it. The tape shows it. And the schedule's about to prove it. Let's just say it. The criticism isn't coming out of nowhere. The film doesn't lie. When fans say Dylan Gabriel won't push the ball downfield, when analysts talk about him struggling to see over the rush, they're not haters, they're observers. The tape backs them up. What we're watching is an offense that looks smaller and tighter every week. Defenses aren't scared anymore. They're squatting routes. Safeties are creeping down. Linebackers are sitting on everything short. It's like every play develops inside a 5-yard box. And when that happens in the NFL, it's over before it starts. That's how conservative football kills itself. Slowly, predictably. You start the season with structure, quick reads, safe throws, limited turnovers. Coaches love it, but the league adjusts fast. And when you become a team that only throws checkdowns, the defense changes the math. They shrink the field, stuff the run, and dare you to prove you can attack over the top. Suddenly, those easy 3-yard RPOs are getting blown up. Suddenly, every 3rd and 6 feels like 3rd and 12. The margin evaporates. Now, let's be real. Dylan's not doing this on purpose. He's not out there trying to play small ball football, but he's limited by design. At his height, at his frame, throwing lanes don't always exist. He's not seeing over 6'6" linemen like Josh Allen. He's finding lanes, trying to slide left, roll out right, create vision windows on the fly. That's not an insult. That's reality. But the problem is, that kind of football has an expiration date. You can only live on designed bootlegs and half-field reads for so long before defenses catch on. And trust me, by week 3, they already have. So the real question isn't just can Dylan do it? It's why he's being asked to do this in the first place. Is it a player limitation or a coaching philosophy? Is Kevin Stefanski protecting his young quarterback or protecting his offensive identity? Because right now it feels like Cleveland is running an offense built to avoid mistakes, not to win games. And that might sound smart on paper, until you realize the NFL doesn't reward careful, it rewards conviction. There's a difference between protecting confidence and avoiding confrontation, between learning and limiting. And that's why this line hits so hard. Protecting feelings is not protecting wins. The rhythm of this offense tells the whole story. Checkdowns create charts. Charts create scouting reports. Scouting reports create traps. And once you're trapped in a predictable rhythm, you're not just fighting the other team. You're fighting your own playbook. That's the emotional tax of playing scared. Every drive becomes cautious. Every throw becomes second-guessed. Every Sunday becomes survival. And when you play not to lose in this league, you always do. So yeah, the critics aren't crazy. They're seeing what we're all seeing. A quarterback boxed in by caution and a coaching staff too hesitant to break out of it. But here's the twist. If this is the ceiling for Dylan Gabriel, what exactly unlocks the floor for Shedeur Sanders? And how soon does that moment come? Pressure can break you, or it can sharpen you. And right now, Cleveland's sitting in that razor-thin middle, where every drive, every throw, every sideline glance feels like it's deciding the future. But here's the truth. This story doesn't have to end in frustration, because fixing this isn't about ripping the whole thing apart. It's about flipping the switch. It starts with structure. The Browns can change this picture fast. You open things up early. Take those shot calls on first down from condensed sets, where defenses can't disguise as easily. You run dagger and over concepts that reward anticipation, not hesitation. You design layered reads to the field side so your quarterback has clear high-low answers, not panic checkdowns. And you create tempo pockets, that rhythm stretch where the defense can't substitute, can't breathe, can't hide. That's how you find identity again. You force them to react to you. A confident quarterback with anticipation and pocket calm reopens the whole playbook. Suddenly, the field feels bigger. You're not calling plays hoping something works. You're calling plays knowing exactly why it will. That's what progression reading is about. It's not flashy. It's controlled aggression, knowing where your hot answer lives before the snap, and trusting your arm when it appears. That's where Shedeur separates himself. He's not waiting for receivers to be open. He's throwing them open. He's not just reacting to chaos. He's organizing it. That's what anticipation looks like at the pro level. And here's the underrated part nobody talks about. Leadership changes the temperature in the room. You can feel when a quarterback owns the huddle. When he's in 3rd and 7, eyes locked, no panic. When he's in 2-minute and the offense moves like one heartbeat. That's what separates managers from game changers. The great ones radiate calm. They make 10 other guys believe they're about to win the down. And that's when the sideline belief flips. You see this every year. A young quarterback who takes his lumps, eats film, and then one day, something clicks. The speed slows down. The reads connect. The offense breathes again. We've seen it with Hurts, with Stroud, with Purdy. Guys who weren't perfect, just prepared. They didn't need a miracle system. They just needed reps. And that's the key. Reps build timing. Timing builds trust. Trust builds explosives. So now Cleveland's at the fork in the road. 2 paths, option A measured ramp. Give Shedeur 2 series a half, maybe an end-of-half 2-minute drill. Build him into rhythm without imploding the locker room. Option B, rip the Band-Aid off. A transparent 2-game window. Tell the room, we're finding our future right now. And then live with the results. Because waiting for the perfect moment never works. The league doesn't wait. Momentum doesn't wait. Confidence doesn't wait. Development delayed is development denied. If Shedeur Sanders is your future, the best day to start was yesterday. The second best day is the next kickoff. All right, this is where I plant the flag. 2 more starts. That's my line in the sand. 2 more starts for Dylan Gabriel. If the offense keeps looking capped, if the same issues keep showing up, and that conversation inside the Browns facility will flip from if to when. Because this league doesn't care about patience. It cares about production. And when situational football starts demanding a quarterback who can win a down, not just survive a series, that's when reality sets in. I'm not saying Dylan can't fight. The kid's got heart. But heart without results doesn't move sticks. You can't keep punting away opportunity because you're scared to test the limits of your offense. The Browns have built a roster that's ready right now. Not next year, not in theory, not on potential. A defense that can travel, weapons that can separate, and a locker room that's begging for a spark. That's why I'm saying this on record. The Shedeur Sanders era isn't far. And when it happens, it's not going to feel like panic. It's going to feel like permission. Permission for this team to finally stretch its identity, to finally believe it can go win games instead of managing them. Because if you've watched Shedeur long enough, you know what he brings. That calm chaos. 3rd and 7 becomes a statement, not a sentence. 2-minute drills become theater. Defenses play honest again. Because you can't cheat against a quarterback who punishes hesitation. And listen, I'll own this take. Clip it, save it, bookmark it. If Dylan proves me wrong and suddenly starts pushing the ball downfield, I'll be the first one here giving him his flowers. But right now, every drive feels like we're just waiting for something to happen to the Browns. Not because of them. And that's not the kind of energy you build legacies on. So here's where I turn to the fans. To the people who've ridden this roller coaster for decades. Believe because the tape says so. Believe because the locker room needs it. Believe because the schedule demands it. Not hype, trajectory, not noise, leverage. Not later, now. This city isn't begging for headlines. It's begging for a standard. A standard that says, we expect more. A standard that doesn't crumble under pressure but grows from it. Cleveland doesn't need another savior. It needs someone who owns the moment. And here's the quiet truth nobody in that building will ever admit on camera. The locker room always knows. Always. They know who moves the room. They know who makes them believe. And when the time comes, it won't be about politics. It'll be about plays. Picture that sideline. 2 helmets sitting next to each other. One the present, one the future. And when that future finally steps into the huddle, the air changes. The noise hits different. Because when the Band-Aid rips, the belief starts. And when belief starts in this town, it gets loud. Drop your time-stamped prediction in the comments. Let's see who calls it first. Because this, right here, isn't drama. This is the beginning of a turning point.